Hello, my name is Kathy Williams from Brisbane, Australia, and welcome to my Rosé recording project accompanying commentaries. This particular commentary is for the Rosé 40 Studies number 3. These are just my views on how to play the study and the thinking that goes behind my particular recordings of the study. And you'll find there's common themes in most of these commentaries. Now, in this particular etude, you've got leaps. You've got quite wide leaps. And this study, if played very slowly, can provide excellent legato practice, joining the notes like so. So that's a particularly good bar for over the break, especially the G to the B. And also for larger leaps, going from the shalom register to the clarion register. So So this is an excellent exercise for your legato practice, and you also have some staccato leaps of 2 octaves. Now, as I explained in an earlier commentary, the clarinet does not overblow at the octave, it overblows at the 12th. So any octave exercise is a little bit more difficult on the clarinet than other instruments because we have to change fingerings, we can't just hit a register key. So you have these 2 octave leaps, which are even more challenging than the 1 octave leaps, and they're staccato as well. Now, my tip, and you may have actually heard this when I just played that excerpt, is to emphasise the lower note so that the upper note doesn't pop, and also that you have the support system there, because ideally the upper note's going to come out anyway. It's going to be louder than the lower note. So to compensate for that, you play a little bit louder on the bottom note and the top note comes in a lot easier. So and that occurs quite a number of times in the next few bars after that. And so on. And then, so the first half of the etude is essentially legato, and it's the second half where you've got some quite challenging staccato leaps. And again, emphasise the lower note, because by emphasising the lower note and putting a support in there, the high note comes a lot easier. And I suppose I'd especially like to highlight the last 2 lines because you've got about 6 bars of 2 octave leaps. Extremely challenging, but very worthwhile. So not only are the leaps 2 octaves, but they're staccato as well, and they're going from the shallow register up to the altissimo, so it's all over the range of the clarinet. So again, emphasise the lower note. So, very challenging. Now, once you can overcome those technical difficulties, we can then look at putting a little bit of music into the piece to make it a bit more interesting. And again, here I would use the harmony to drive the musicality of the piece, and also use the Schenker method. Now this particular piece is interesting because I see some Bach features in it, in that Bach had the wonderful ability to put 2 lines of music on just the one in his violin partitas and solo cello works, so that you'll have a melody in the lower register, and then suddenly it'll cut to an upper register. It sounds like there's two different melodies going on, but it's only the one line. And here I think this is applicable too. And I see two melody lines here, not the one. So you've got the melody line of the lower line. Now this is a big sequence when you look at it, because you know, you've got G going up, and then down to the B, and then you start on an A, and then you start on a D, and so it's a load of sequences. And once you can work out the pattern, you can work out how to phrase the piece. So I think the phrases go over the 4 bars. So etc. But on top of this lower line, you've also got the upper line. So what we want to do is emphasize both lines at once. And how I would do this is really emphasize the lower note and maybe put a little bit more stress and make it slightly longer than the upper note. Though you want the upper notes to be, the melody to be just as prominent as the lower one. So and here, again, emphasize the lower note, have the support on the lower note, and you'll notice that the upper note just comes out by itself. So I haven't really got an awful lot to say about this piece, except use it for your slow legato practice, and once you've gotten the speed up, then start to add a little bit of the musicality. Look at the phrasing. There's 4-bar phrases, and there's definitely an arc to each phrase. And enjoy the 2-octave staccato leaps. Lots of fun. And it gets more challenging in about the last 6 lines, because you've got a lower melody. So in the 5th last line, you've got, sorry, try that again. Let's try that again. Sorry, read straight out. So again, you've got these wide leaps, and again, emphasize the lower note, put your support on the lower note, and the upper note will come out so much easier. So that's my 2 cents on number 3. This are my views only, my interpretation. They may not agree with your teacher's interpretation, and I would defer to your teacher rather than my interpretation, because we all have different views. But that's my 2 cents on number 3, so best of luck with number 3, and I shall see you with the commentary on number 4 shortly.